All right, sex cults. So the latest thing is R.Kelly. So there's a debate whether a sex cult, because if it's a sex cult, then they might be able to arrest him or something like that. But if it's a lifestyle choice and they're all adult women, it's totally fine. So they have to prove that these women are kept against their will. The thing is, when does brainwashing come into the effect of being kept against your will? Because if brainwashing comes into effect, what about all those religious cults out there?
How about Catholicism?
Exactly. And I think the reason there's such a, it has to be a lifestyle choice in adult women, because if you do get into brainwashing being something that you can say that is kidnapping or being held against your will, then a whole bunch of religious cults will get busted. And I think that as long as it's towards women, they don't give a shit. You know?
That's a good point. What
if it was the opposite way? What if it was a woman controlling a whole bunch of men? Adult men.
I call her Mama.
When is it defined a cult?
Right.
Versus a lifestyle.
Absolute
And a lot of cults deprive you of food and outside communication, and that adds into it. So maybe they're not beating you directly or raping you directly, but there's a whole bunch of other stuff that's happening.
Care of me.
Right. So when does that switch over?
That's really interesting because I think if I was to be a judge on that, that would be very difficult to try. You know?
Absolutely.
Because listen, I dabble in a couple of lifestyles, and they're all consensual. However,
But see,
the slave master.
That's another thing.
For instance, like we have lifestylers. And then
I was gonna say, I know people who are lifestylers.
That was part of the argument.
We're lifestylers,
cult.
and then there's people who just play. Whenever they want to play. So lifestyle is a little bit different because you live it. You know what I mean? So like you live with your dominant, and you serve your dominant daily. Now people can look at that and go, it's slavery. However, if it's
brainwashing.
But
it's actually consensual.
If it's consensual, then how do you determine what was consensual and what wasn't? That's the hard part. And depending on the judge you get will depend on. I mean, what if you get a super conservative judge that doesn't know anything about this, just completely vanilla, and be like, oh, you're a sick bastard. You're going to jail for 50 years.
Or you get a judge that's keeping kids in the basement, and he goes, oh, you guys ain't doing nothing. Free.
You
never know what kind of judge you're getting.
Exactly.
I wonder if this could be a black thing too, because look at Hugh Hefner and the Playboy models. So he has a group of women that live with him.
That's true.
They have a contract together that they have to show up. They have to go out with him. They have to have a certain amount of sex per night. Exactly. They're an entourage that goes out. They always have to speak wonderful of him. So what's up with that? If R. Kelly has like a Playboy model contract with each one of these women, and they're supposed to make appearances,
Honestly, he might if they're artists.
When is it a sex cult? And when is it Playboy? Legitimate Playboy.
That's very true. That's very true.
And is it a black thing or a white thing?
Well, that's true because he does. Hefner. I mean, he
had him on lockdown.
And I'm not allowed to go back there anymore, so I can't tell you.
How do you get kicked out of the Playboy page?
That's the next episode.